Welcome everyone to 7 Minutes or Less, your one-stop commentary shop to the shows you love and want to get into. Here I will be talking about Star Trek Discovery, Season 1. Now this is a general review talking about my experience watching this show and what I thought of it throughout its run. Before I do, there are a few things I want to get out of the way. One, I am not a huge fan of prequels, and seeing how there is an abundance of them these days with popular shows, there is no standing ground to disliking them if they are well done. Star Trek Discovery is one of those rare gems where I'm alright with it being a prequel, because it's well done. Two, I am a light fan of most things, unless it's Doctor Who, 24, Game of Thrones, and a few others I don't have time to mention. With Star Trek, I haven't seen much of the shows. I've mentioned this in one of my reviews. I've seen all of the movies and enjoyed a massive majority of them. Saying this, I understand that there's a divided response between a show that has a legacy, and when new people come in claiming that they have a treatment for it, telling a new part to the mythology, I can see the response grow in anger. But I also see where a lot of people enjoy it for what it is. My main issue with Discovery is that it's a prequel to a lore that has already an established timeline, culture, history that spans over hours worth of material in just a TV show alone. I have only barely tapped into what it is and how it is as a mythology. So giving you this review can be possibly misguided, biased, uninformed because Star Trek Discovery is the first real season I've seen completed of a Star Trek universe. So now that you know that about me, I hope that you can take my opinion lightly and understand I'm going in with what I know and where I stand, especially when it comes to prequels. And shall I say, as a further note, I kind of wish for Star Trek they would just make what happened after Voyager, or not necessarily a reboot, but continuation onwards for more storylines and things that I think could really progress the universe. We follow Michael Burnham, who, at the time of this prologue, is first officer to the USS Shenzhou, dealing with the Klingon houses that want to wage war against the United Federation of Planets. Things go horribly wrong. Michael tries to take matters into her own hands, and she's labeled as a traitor and arrested. Stripped of rank and respect, she is sentenced to life in prison for her mutiny. 6 months later, during an unexpected transfer, Michael is rescued by the USS Discovery and its captain, the mysterious Gabriel Lorca. On the Discovery, Lorca asks Michael for assistance with a scientific assignment, and this is just the start to earning her keep on the Discovery, as much more happens within this show. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you, there are a lot of surprises throughout this run. What I can say is the plot does transfer from one story element to the next, making its way through concepts in beautiful style. Now, where I believe they could be taking the same type of story elements from the shows before it is unbeknownst to me, so as it stands, I rather enjoyed the way they told this story. The quality is gorgeous, the story is followable. The characters are likable enough for a casual viewer like myself to get into. Saying that, I can only hope that is relevant for you. I also will kind of give way to the plot for the first half, which really ends up being about the spores and what they are used for on the Discovery. Due to the war with the Klingons, the Discovery is tasked with finding new ways to innovative means to help win the war. Effective tactics that allow quick getaways without a moment's worry of lingering in enemy territory, and that is what the spores can do. Lorca, tasked with such a job, asks Michael to help in various aspects. A part of the story are some of the supporting characters. One in particular is Paul Stamets, the chief engineer who ends up being a key figure for the spores and how they are used. Other characters include Saru, a first officer to the USS Discovery and months before the USS Shenzhou, who worked with Michael during that time. Tension between them result in a difference of opinion since Shenzhou and what transpired there. Saru is a Kelpian who can sense danger and the coming of death. His race has a reputation for cowardice, and being a first officer, this is a cautionary trait for fellow officers, but makes him highly insightful. Sylvia Tilley, a cadet in the final year of the Starfleet Academy, assigned to the Discovery. She is the more optimistic one of the fleet, seeing things in a different limelight than most. Bunked with Michael on her first day, she gains the trust in time, but works under Paul Stamets. Midway through this show, things get highly entertaining as they reveal the next big plot twist and various new plot elements balancing the Klingon storyline, Michael Burnham's, and Lorca's, along with a few others. Things never quite get too complicated. As for flaws for the show, I find myself at odds with more or less the quality. Despite my praises for the quality being gorgeous, there are times I often think about how it matches within the style of how the shows are currently, and this one. It really stands apart. It messes with me a little bit, thinking how the events here on Discovery even matter to the original series. Also, in terms of content, there are moments I found Star Trek to be unexpectedly brutal in some scenes. On top of that, the language used goes to the extreme in one scene I found completely out of place. In the end, guys, I had a blast with Star Trek Discovery. There is so much to take away from. The concepts are fun, and they are explored in fine style. The characters are likable enough and get better and better as it goes along. It's nice to get into if you're a first-time viewer like myself, and for that, I will give Star Trek Discovery an A-. So, I pass this off to you. What do you guys think of Star Trek Discovery Season 1? Did you love it? Like it? Hate it? Did this review turn you on to the possibility of watching it? For whatever reason, I'd love to know. Comment below, and let's talk. Thank you all so much for watching. Here on my channel, I review films, TV shows in 7 minutes or less, recommending and recapping, and universe reviews, taking the movies and TV shows that set up a universe. If you enjoyed what you have seen here and heard, and want to see more, please subscribe, and I'll get you more videos in the future.